he finally responded to HbomberGuy. His name is James Somerton, and he got exposed for plagiarism and a bunch of other stuff. I had no idea he dropped an apology video until I saw Mr. Moisty Man drop his video talking about it. If you haven't watched that 4-hour masterpiece where he got outed, go ahead and check that bad boy out. I will link it down in the description. I promise you, best 4 hours of your life, guaranteed. I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm just gonna be telling you guys the key points he said in this apology video, because he was hitting us with that yap. Blood was fluent in yap. It was just a 30-minute video of him trying his best to tug on our heartstrings, hoping that we forgive him. I'm gonna tell you all this right now. Spoiler alert, that's not how it went. It actually did the complete opposite effect on his viewers or the people that watched it. He would end up deleting that video and posting on his community page this: "Hey James, don't bother coming back. You can keep that proper apology in the vaults. We don't need it. We're good off that. Just figure something else better to do with your life, man, because your days are numbered on this platform right here." I mean, you would have a shot if you came back and actually did original content, but I already know that's gonna be too much work for you, SS Cypher. I mean James Somerton. My fault, y'all. My fault. That was just a slip of the tongue. My bad. I forgot what video I was recording. Right off the bat, he would waste no time trying to garner our sympathy by busting out the waterworks and telling us a sob story.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry for taking so long to make this video or to say anything. I've been in the hospital for a little over a week.
After that whole spiel, he would go on to say, not trying to make this a sob story or anything.
Anyway, I'm not trying to make this a sob story.
After making it a sob story, and later on in the video,
Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna make this a sob story.
Continuously making it a sob story. Like later on in the video where he would talk about how his best friend, his amigo, stopped talking to him after that video got dropped on him.
He hasn't spoken to me since this happened.
I mean, that's sad and all, but what does that have to do with what you're addressing? Like, okay, let me go ahead, even though he doesn't deserve it, let me throw him Bill. Let's just say, like early on, right? He said, the reason why I'm so late with this video is because I was going through the hospital. All right, cool. All right, you let us know why I was so late. No need for you to go in depth after that, bruh. Like, I wish you the best and all if you were in that dark place, and I hope you get the help you deserve, but it just came off as tone deaf. After that, he would go on to say this BS line:
I'm not sorry that I got caught.
If you weren't ethered by Mr. HbomberGuy, I promise you would continue to plagiarize all of these authors that put in time and effort into their work. It just took a titan YouTuber to expose him, because he was exposed before for plagiarizing pieces of work, but that didn't stop him. He just continued doing what he was doing. It only took for him to get introduced to a wider audience that was gonna give him so much pushback to where he couldn't ignore it. So yeah, you're not sorry you got caught. You're sorry you got caught and got introduced to a wider audience that was gonna be at your neck continuously. After that, he would go on to say, oh my gosh, I just had no idea I was hurting people with what I was doing.
Didn't realize that I was hurting people.
That's obviously a load of baloney, because there was an author that you were bashing that decided to comment under one of your videos talking about how hurt she is. And we know you saw it, because instead of commenting back and saying, you know, my bad, I'm sorry, I wasn't well informed on the topic. No, instead of doing all of that, you decide to go on your Discord and talk about it. Are we in high school? You're a grown man getting chatty in a Discord. A little bit after that, he would slip in and say he didn't write most of his scripts when he was apologizing for the misinformation and the lies he was spreading.
I also want to apologize for the misinformation, outright lies that ended up in the videos. I can honestly say that I never intended for any of that stuff to be in the videos. In most cases, I didn't write it.
But don't worry, you guys. Let's go ahead and put down the pitchfork. He will go on to say he should have taken more responsibility, more care, all because he was the face of the channel.
But I should have, you know, it was my face on the channel. It was my name on the channel. I should have been more diligent
Let's just ignore the fact that, again, you're a grown man, and when you were reading these scripts out loud to a camera, the thought didn't go into your head and be like, you know what, this is kind of extra. I don't want to put this in my video. This is a little too much. He would say he's sorry for not crediting the author and point out that when he was stealing their work, the only thing he did was just edit.
Given the credit that they deserved, they did the hard work. All I did was edit the video.
It's crazy because him saying the only thing he did was edit is still a stretch, because in the video he literally stole somebody else's full-length video, put it on his channel, and the only thing he did was just talk over it. So if we're being honest here, the only thing you did consistently was just use your voice. That's it. Just despicable stuff, man. I'm happy you're getting your comeuppance. Again, after that, he would try to garner some more pity points by saying this.
A lot of you watching this aren't really gonna care, and you would rather I just disappear.
Yes, we want you to disappear. You had chance after chance to improve your behavior and stop doing what you were doing, but nope, you didn't take those chances. So yes, please disappear, get off this platform, do something else. He would again throw his writer under the bus by saying that he did not write a single word of the misinformation and lies that he spewed out of his mouth in his videos.
Before I went to the hospital, I read.
I like how you threw in before I went to the hospital. That was real smooth.
People think that I hate ace people and women and bisexual people and lesbians, and that's not true. I'm sorry, that stuff made it into videos that just shouldn't have been there. Misinformation and lies. I promise you I did not write that stuff.
It's funny because after that, literally after that, he would say, but I'm not trying to throw my writer under the bus though. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make him a scapegoat.
I'm not trying to throw Nick under the bus, which a bunch of people saying that I was setting him up as doing, which is not true.
For the people that don't know, he worked with a writer that went by the name of Nick, and in James' words, they did everything 50-50.
This whole thing, Nick and I were 50-50 partners.
Well, I mean, that's up until, you know, the mean stuff and the misinformation. Then it switches to 100 Nick, 0 James. He would also talk about the money that folks donated to his studios for movies that he had envisioned, that he didn't pocket any of the money at all. He actually paid for gay actors, artists, and a bunch of other stuff, etc., etc.
I was never gonna take the money and run. None of the money that came in for Telos was ever going to be paying me or Nick. It was going to be paying queer actors and artists, musicians, things like that. I know there's been lots of talk about budgets and all of this stuff, and people saying that I'm really stupid for thinking that a movie could be made for that little money, but there are examples of it being done, and I actually do have a work ethic.
I just have to say, what does your work ethic have to do with what you were talking? I was so, to spare you more than I have already, he would end the video just rambling, talking in circles, and pleading to Nick, please come back. To wrap this up, some low-hanging fruit, that was probably the most original video he has ever done on his channel.